know people are going to get upset if I don't ask this, and I
Sure.
do want to ask this because I think this did make a lot of news. I got a press release from WWE, and
Yeah.
they're doing WWE, and I sent you a message about this, and I'll full
Yeah.
transparency about wishing you congratulations. The gym it's going to be the WWE ID program. There's a bunch of different training schools throughout the country, and the
Yeah.
Nightmare Factory. It's going to be associated with the Nightmare Factory is one of the gyms, and I found it, and I'll be fully transparent. I found it a little like I know it's like you and Cody's gym. It was like you're an integral part of the gym. I found it a little weird considering I do know your role at the gym. And is it weird at all knowing you're an all elite wrestling talent, executive, and your gym, that gym you help run, is a part of a WWE system?
Yeah. So, I mean, Tony called me the day it was announced about other stuff. And he's like, hey, I just got to bring this up because I'm getting a lot of questions. And I was honest with him. I said, hey, I'll be honest with you, Tony. I didn't really know about this.
Okay.
Cody had spoken to me about potentially signing over like the intellectual properties and stuff. And he said he was doing something related to WWE, but like, kind of sworn to secrecy type of thing. And I don't want to
Yeah.
know. And I was like, yeah, plus like there's other stuff that's going on with the facility as well. Like the building that we're in is like 2 hours from Cody's house, right? So maybe 6 months ago, I kind of put the building up for sale.
Okay.
And he was going to open up like his own spot by his house that I would probably come by like once a week and train and do the same thing we were doing by me. But he wanted it to be closer to him because, he does all these interviews and he just wanted like his own, whatever, compound type place.
Yeah.
And I remember telling Tony, like, hey, this could be good because my building, I can't afford it because of without having these camps, but maybe you want to get involved and we could run the shows out of here and we could use it to film stuff. So AEW even came down there and looked at the building. But my wife and I, we were just trying to get out of the building regardless. So it's kind of like everything was all happening at once. Then they announced this deal, and like when Cody kind of explained it to me, he was very smart about not putting me in the press releases. He didn't want any kind of drama for me.
Yeah.
And I told Tony, like, yeah, Cody has his own camps. It's always kind of been like that where I've been a coach, but these are like his camps. He loves, these are all his kids. They're from scratch, stuff like that. Like I've always trained people for the most part, in a night class with Billy Gunn. And before Billy, it was just myself, but like, I like more of the more experienced guys and girls and stuff like that. Whereas Cody likes to get them when they're like, brand new. So it was a little weird at first when he went to WWE. Now, I mean, of course, that the WWE is involved. I don't understand what is going on. I didn't look into it as much. The reason I want to look into it is because I have every single student we've ever had has been messaging me. But I don't know the answer. Right. So I don't know what their whole deal is, what that involves. I kind of read the press release as well, but I know when I spoke to Cody is like, hey, you're going to be doing your own thing. Maybe I could run a night class in there if we lose the building here, if we sell the building and stuff. But obviously with AEW and the conflict of interest, like I'm probably not going to be a part of this thing. He's like, yeah, of course that makes perfect sense. Like stinks because you are 50% of the Nightmare Factory, in fact, like more than 50% because of the coaching that you bring. But at the end of the day, like, of course, if it's going to make any kind of difficulty at work, and that's the biggest thing, right? I'm not willing to risk my job. I've already quit my own job. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
Yeah.
need someone else to ruin it for me. So, but I feel like WWE, they probably knew that I was an integral part of the Nightmare Factory. So I can't imagine that they have any issues on their end. And I think that would just be a conversation that Tony and I would really have to talk about and stuff. But again, I don't know what goes into it. So I don't
Okay.
know if like, if we train them, are they, are they going to send people from like, I still, if Jade Cargill came to the school and asked to roll around and learn stuff, I'm not going to say no because she works for WWE. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's still a student of mine. But at the end of the day, I do understand if there is a major conflict of interest too. So it's just one of those things that I think as things progress, we kind of figure it out. But when it comes to, the near future and Cody announcing that there's a camp in January and stuff, like we've been we have a student that really helps out answering all those questions. And we've kind of been directing them to a different area of Georgia because I know that if this building goes through with the sale, like we'll be out of there by January anyway. So, and I think if we weren't going to be out of there, maybe Cody was going to run it out of that one. But still, I mean, I was looking to take a break from coaching. That's what I told Tony. Like, I genuinely just want a break. I've been doing this for 7 years, almost 10 years. If you go back to when I was coaching at the Monster Factory, and then opening my own facility and doing all this stuff. And, it's like I go to TV on Tuesday, I come home Thursday, I go right to the school, and then over the weekend we have Turnbuckle Championship Wrestling where I'm wrestling for somebody else. And then we start at Monday, I have another day at the school, and then I travel again. So I just would like to try to enjoy my life a little bit while I still can. So there was a lot that went into it. It was just all this timing all at once. It was just kind of crazy how it all happened. But, I know people have been tagging me on Twitter saying that AEW should release me from all ties because the school is affiliated with WWE. And I'm like,
oh, geez.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I mean, they can, but, I don't think that's beneficial to anybody. This is one of those things, right? Like, I understand because there's not enough information out there. That's the biggest thing, right? Because Cody put my name in his tweet. And he said, like, did that harm you more than help you? And I said, I'm fine. I said, it doesn't do anything. I said, I think the lack of information that, that press release kind of gives, you just no one understands it, right? Like, I don't know what it means. And I guess all the, 250 students that we've ever had, they don't understand what it means, So again, maybe WWE doesn't know what it means yet either. I really don't know. I think it might just be something where, like, if they're signing off on your facility, that they probably want to have, like, a right to look at the talent. Maybe I really don't know. I know they weren't going to come in and give me $1 million for my building. I know that. So, so that would kind of prevent. That's why I really don't care too much to not be involved. But also, a lot of it was just I just wanted a break. And I had voiced that opinion 3 months ago to Billy Gunn and to Cody as well. Like, I don't think we should do another camp in January. I want a break. I just want to relax and kind of figure out, what else is there and maybe find the passion for coaching again. So, it's just, like I said, it's just been a wild couple of days, And,
that's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah. But like I said, I didn't really know what was going on. And I understand from Cody's point of view of, he was sworn to kind of secrecy and stuff. And, because who knows if maybe it's such a cool thing that they're doing that we would have wanted to jump on it. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs, but again, when it comes to their business and my business, I try to stay. Cody and I, we just have more of a friend relationship than professional at this point. So.
I'm glad you really cleared it up because and I saw that tweet, he tagged you, and I'm like, wait, what's going on here? So we can just narrow that down. So hopefully everyone will be able, because I think that was very.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. The goal of the school was always I think the goal of any school is to get branded by a major organization. I think, like, we never jumped on it from an AEW point of view because it always involved Cody. And also, I'll say this, I haven't really said this to many people, but if you're a student signing up for the Nightmare Factory 6 months ago and there's no WWE logo or WWE ID or whatever it is, you would have to be crazy to not think that there's an attachment to WWE. But also, you have the vice president of Jack of all trades, master of none as the other coach, right? So, like, why? And I think it's always just been understood. But, again, so if anything, I just feel like, if you're someone that wants to go to AEW when you start wrestling, this kind of almost puts it divides it a little bit. And it shouldn't, you know what I mean? Because, again, like, you're going to learn wrestling in a school, but then you're going to learn it by actually going out there and wrestling. So you're just going to learn your fundamentals at a school, and hopefully what we strive to teach at Nightmare Factory is, like, the etiquette and the business end of it. But at the end of the day, like, if, like I said, that's why I think it was never needed, that I needed to say, like, if you sign up at this school, like, there's an attachment to AEW, like, no duh. The guy's the vice president of the company. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, and also Cody, like, he's the WWE World Champion. You don't think if there's a student that's such a standout that he's not going to go to someone and say, like, hey, you got to take a look at this person. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And maybe we don't, because at the same time, like, you got to earn it too. But so I again, I think it might be a little more harmful than helpful, but you never know. Like I said, I'm curious to see about the other facilities and what they're telling everybody, and how it helps them and stuff. So again, I don't think we needed the rub from WWE, because Cody put out a tweet 3 weeks ago about a camp and we got like 700 applications. So I don't think we really needed that. But at the end of the day, I do understand from him, his perspective, why he would want to do something and so on and so forth. So I'm happy for him. I think it's great for, I think he just wants everyone to know that when we were doing the Nightmare Factory, that I was part of it. He just loves to give me credit, and I'm the opposite. I love to get no credit and just stay behind the scenes, because again, the less that I'm in the spotlight, the easier, the easier it is to not get people going after you. Like that
Yeah,
news
correct.
came out about WWE and the WWE ID, and right away, I'm getting phone calls from everyone. Like, how's this going to affect you? It's like, dude, leave me alone. I don't know how it shouldn't affect me at all. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so, but if, whatever, we'll see as it plays out. Right.